I went down on my younger cousin during quarantine. I don't regret it. She sat down on the couch and buried her nose in her phone while I finished up in the kitchen. Thankfully, it seemed, she was not too concerned with my lingering eyes, and I tried to forget the recent image of so much perfect skin. I cut us a few slices of still hot pizza, brought them out, and started up the movie thinking it was an odd prank. She was pulling or just a joke that threw me off while I was small, but loud part of my mind hoped it wasn't a joke at all. Partway through the movie I noticed Liz was back on her phone off and on. At some point she stretched out on the couch, head on one arm rest and legs bent, and her feet pressed up against my leg. She kept shifting her legs trying to get comfortable until I asked, "Want to stretch them out?" and patted the tops of my legs. She just smiled at me and stretched them out, letting her feet rest on my lap. I instinctively shifted my hands out from under my blanket and started massaging her cold feet before I realized what I was doing and froze. I slowly looked over and saw her staring at me, a questioning, but not uncomfortable look on her face. I used to massage Nicole's ex-wife feet all the time like this, just instinct, sorry. And I started to desperately search for a new place for my hands. Liz spoke up for the first time since the movie started, laughing a little as she spoke. "I don't mind at all. It actually feels really nice. I went on a long run while you were at work, so you won't hear any complaints from me." And so, I kept massaging her feet, listening to her breathing, and paying almost no attention to the movie. Eventually, her feet were as warm as my hands and I started moving down her lower legs, giving her calf some attention. This elicited a light moan from Liz, and she said, "Why wouldn't Nicole leave this?" I'm sure it was louder than she expected because I saw her head shoot up and look at me to see if I reacted. I just glanced over and gave her a weak smile but didn't comment. I could feel her tense under my touch though. She felt bad for saying it. I turned the movie down a little and said without looking over, "She and I just wanted different things. I don't mean to overshare, but we both wanted kids and it turns out that I can't." We talked about adoption, but after a while I could tell she wanted her own kids. I felt like it was a sign that we should adopt and she very much didn't. We found out about a year ago and that was kind of the beginning of the end. It was pretty quiet for a while as we both just quietly watched the rest of the movie and I continued rubbing her feet and legs.